Hello, good morning, and welcome to another live Q&A. I've got massive bedhead this morning. I'm chilling in my sweatpants and just a little bit sleepy this morning, but we're going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about some of the ascension symptoms that a lot of you have been having, which is like the headaches and the exhaustion. I don't know about all of you, but I think about 2 weeks ago, I was so exhausted every day that no matter what it was that I did, cooking dinner or doing a session or playing in my garden, I would have to take a nap right after. And I love naps, but I don't like usually I'm a very go 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 productive person, so that's not like me to kind of zonk out in the middle of the day. And then this past week, I believe, time is weird, but for about 3 days straight, I had the worst headache. Like it was migraine level headache, and nothing that I did, not even dousing my head in peppermint essential oil, worked. So I, of course, always put out posts on Instagram kind of explaining what I'm going through. And the beautiful thing is that most of you always come back and tell me that you're going through the same thing. And that's so beautiful. Like, I love how this community can get together and say, all right, cool, we're all exhausted and we're all experiencing headaches. And I'm going to explain a lot of why that is in tomorrow's live video. Just a reminder, this Q&A, only the members can comment in the live chat, and only the members were able to actually ask the questions, the Q&A questions. So I have devised a new plan, okay, with the Q&A questions, and so I'm pretty painty today. But I have devised a new plan, which is for all of my members. We are going to do a democracy system, which is let me just think about this. The more a question has thumbs up from the community, those are the questions that I'm going to choose. That way, I'm not the one picking and choosing the questions. You guys are the ones picking and choosing the questions. And that actually creates more engagement and more of this community sense and vibration. And that's really what I want. And thank you so much, Sherry, for that beautiful super chat. You are such a support for me in this channel, and love the aliens. So yeah, so just know that the next Q&A post will be out this Friday, asking you about questions. I think I'm probably going to leave it pretty open, and if you like a question and you want me to answer that question from someone else or your own, just hit the little thumbs up button. The more thumbs up that one question has, the more likely I am to answer it. And I think that that's a really great method and a really great way of choosing the questions and having you guys choose the questions. And that's kind of what I did today. So the most engaged questions, which also means that you might want to be the first one to be posting your question on Friday, just because that really kind of creates more engagement as well. So be aware of that. Today we're talking about many things all across the board. Initially, my intention for this Q&A was all about soul purpose. It kind of turned into its own little thing. So we're talking about trauma, reptilians, we're talking about a romantic partner, getting prepared, all of that stuff. So just kind of really straight across the board. Tomorrow I have a very exciting video, and then I also have a really exciting announcement as well. Tomorrow's video is going to be a Galactic Federation check-in. So there's a lot of questions that I want to ask them. There's a lot of questions that you guys have asked me to ask them. I think that they're very pertinent questions. As always, I have no idea, like literally no idea how they're going to respond. So it should be really interesting. I'm going to ask them about hydrochloroquine. I'm going to ask them about AI technology. I'm going to ask them about getting prepared, like really getting prepared for the next little while. I'm going to ask them about what we should be doing in the next 6 months. And specifically, guys, I'm not just channeling the Galactic Federation. I'm channeling the Palladian Security Council within the Galactic Federation. Thank you so much, Lori, for that super chat. And then I have a very, very, very exciting announcement. And I've really honestly been thinking about doing this a lot. But now it just really makes sense. And thank you, Sarah. Thank you guys for those super chats. It's really awesome. And so what I'm going to do is every single month, I am going to put out a live event on Zoom. The tickets are going to be super cheap because I want as many people there as possible. So the tickets are going to be $11. And I'm going to be live channeling the Galactic Federation, but not just the Palladian Security Council. I'm going to be channeling any being that wants to contact me from the Galactic Federation. So it could be a blue avian, could be a Lyran being, could be an Anunnaki being. So I'm going to get their species, I'm going to get the name of that being so that you guys can actually call upon that being. And then I'm going to see what specific messages they have for either just the group in that moment, for all of us, for all of humanity in that month. And it's really beautiful because I tune into the Galactic Federation on my own channelings anyway. And now I'm just bringing all of you into it. And I just want a safe community when it comes down to these channelings. And that's why I want it more of a private event. So on the 11th, okay, on the 11th of every single month, I'm going to have this event, this Galactic Federation channeling event. Once again, not just the Palladian Security Council. I'm opening it up to everyone, all the Galactic Federation beings. And the other cool thing too that I should ask them is, what do you do in the Galactic Federation? Like, what's your role? I love understanding what job they have because it's always an interesting job. So anyway, so it's going to be a super cool event. It's just going to be live channeling, zero preparation on my end beforehand. I'm going in super fresh and open-minded, and I hope all of you come in fresh and open-minded as well. It'll be hosted on Zoom, limited tickets for the first one. We're just going to kind of see how it goes. And we might potentially sell it for $11 afterwards as well. I'm sure it's going to be very pertinent information, so that's probably going to happen. So just be aware of that. Thank you, Kat, and thank you, Sharma, you guys, so much for the super chats. You honestly spoil me every time. And thank you all the members, too, for your support as well. It's just so beautiful. Such a beautiful community. Yeah, and so check that out. I think I actually have the ticket up right now. If you guys want to purchase the ticket and get yourself in there, it's on my website. Like I said, $11. You just can't go wrong. And it's going to be, the first one is August 11th, right around the corner. So I'm very excited about that. And we'll see how that goes. So you don't have to have your video or audio on throughout. It's not a Q&A, guys. It is literally just me straight channeling from the GFL. Okay, cool. So two kind of things, messages, announcements that I want to make before we hop into all of your questions. The first one is about my beautiful assistant, Lauren. So I posted on YouTube community the other day, and I just said, hey guys, so sorry, we don't have the manpower to get to these 2,000 comments that are basically held for review, which is ridiculous because I've posted, like literally the one day not too long ago, I posted with my link. And I said, hey, thanks everyone for being here. Check out the rest of my links. The post was taken down automatically. I did it again, wrote this whole thing up again. Post was taken down immediately. And then I realized that it was taken down because there was a link in it. So anyway, so I posted this to the community page, and I was a little bit disappointed to see I don't even know what to call it, but there was just a couple, definitely not everyone. Most of you were very supportive and were like, oh, okay, cool. Here's the proof that Lauren NEA don't moderate the comments, which my wife thinks is crazy because she's in, online marketing and influencer marketing. And she's like, you need a full-time moderator to take down all of the negative comments on your channel. And I said, I don't really want to take down the negative comments on my channel. I want the polarity to be there. If someone's like, this woman is batshit crazy, maybe other people are thinking that. Maybe that opens their mind. I don't know, right? Like I prefer it that way. Anyway, and so for a while, there's been this like kind of internal conspiracy going on in my channel. And I really honestly believe that I've pinpointed it to one person who has multiple accounts. You know who you are. And so they keep saying that Lauren is this evil person and that she's been taken over by some entity and that, and that she's trying to like take me down from the inside. Like, come on, guys. Like, what is going on? And I just want to say that if you don't trust Lauren, first of all, you don't even know who she is, but if you don't trust her, then essentially you don't trust my ability to choose who is and is not in my reality. And Lauren, other than my wife, is one of the most important people to me and to my business. And she is such a pure soul. Like, I mean, my wife is a pure soul, like just like such a beautiful pure soul. But like Lauren is also the pure, I'm like, Lauren, look, like, let's squash the conspiracies. You are such a sweetheart. Like, she is like a bigger sweetheart than I am. I wouldn't even consider myself a sweetheart. I'm like pretty kind of like a badass bitch, but such a sweetheart. And I'm like, Lauren, like, look, people just need to meet you. That's what it is. There's this mystery around this Lauren girl and people just need to meet her. Anyway, I'm like, come on a live video. Like, let's just do a little like quick 20-minute thing. Let's show your face. Let's like get them like feeling your vibration because she is so sweet. And then she's like, no, like I'm scared. And guys, really? Like my only employee, it doesn't feel safe in the workplace, and I have a workplace full of like-minded, high vibrational individuals. Like, it really just baffles me, right? That there's still this conspiracy that Lauren is like purposefully taking down your comments. Like, for those of you who were commenting that on this post, I mean, you've got way too much time on your hands. And for everyone else who's like, oh, here's the proof. Great, no one's moderating this. Thank you for standing up for, the truth. So either way, guys, I tracked down the settings, the YouTube settings yesterday, and the only thing that was set that I changed is YouTube automatically took down anything with emails, anything with phone numbers, anything with links in it for spam. So I took that option off, therefore your comments shouldn't be automatically deleted. I also took down the take off the hate comments, like, because I think that if there's a lot of swearing and stuff in the post, then YouTube automatically removes that as well. So I'm just letting you guys know that if all of a sudden you see a ton of bot messages, a ton of spam messages, a ton of people trying to promote their stuff on my page, you asked for it. That's what you asked for. And if it gets a little ridiculous and a little out of hand, I'm going to put the settings back on. And that's my choice because I own my own company and I can do what I want. But once again, guys, end the conspiracies here. Lauren is a beautiful soul. I've read her energy many times and I know exactly who she is. And she is a huge sweetheart. So just wanted to put that out there. Okay, second thing that I want to mention is, wow, Child Lives Matter protest? Are you serious? Did anyone watch that video? Also, I am shocked that video of the live protest does not have more views. And the reason why I'm shocked is because I know it got shared around. I know it got posted to a million Facebook groups. Like, I know that video got out there, and I have a funny feeling that it is being suppressed a little bit. It is the only media news coverage I could potentially find around the Child's Lives Matter protest. It's the only thing that I could find. And I want to tell you that when I typed into Google, just like a lot of you did, Child Lives Matter protest, I don't know, there's a whole bunch of like different words that you could use, pedophilia protest, like there's just a ton. I tried them all. Every single time, all Google showed, and you're going to have to use an alternative, search engine. I even did that. Still, anything that showed was conspiracy. Oh, there's a conspiracy here. Oh, there's a conspiracy here. Like the top 10 things under the news section of Google was conspiracy, 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 right? So it was just, I almost cried like 10 times. Like I could just cry right now thinking about the passion and the conversations and the people that showed up to the protest. It was just so amazing. And people are saying, this is it. Like, and it was so amazing for people that don't even know my content, that don't even know the video that I put out there, to be having the exact same conversations of, this is it. This is the only thing that we should be protesting against. This is the only thing. This is the thing that is going to change and take down the matrix system. This is it. Right? So I was so excited to see that. So excited. So that was just amazing. And if you saw the video, we were walking on Hollywood Boulevard. Like, I was trying to show some of the stars, right, that I was walking on. Freaking Hollywood Boulevard, protesting the children, taking down the system. I mean, like, how incredible is that, right? So I was just so excited and blessed. And thank you, all of you who posted about it, or who showed up, or who did your meditations at home. We're changing things. And there was tons of people at the protest, tons of people. And we were chanting adrenochrome, no more adrenochrome. And I'm like, what? Are we actually protesting? Are we actually shouting about the blood that reptilians drink from children? I mean, talk about the most intense realization of people are actually talking about this. Like, it was amazing. I'm so blessed that I got to be a part of that. I'm not a boots on the ground type of person. I am do the grid work, do the energy work, tap into the ethers, talk about it online, get the network going. I'm not typically a boots on the ground person, but I had to be there. Like, once in a lifetime opportunity to say, I protested against Child Lives Matter in Hollywood, on Hollywood Boulevard, stomping over all of the stars. And I want to tell you that I was like driving to a friend's house, and he's an amazing guy, and he's a channeler, and he channels the Galactic Federation as well. He's so cool. And so I was driving to his place, and I got this huge download, and I'll just share it with you, and then we'll dive into the questions. The download is that there is a huge energetic vortex in Los Angeles, specifically a huge energetic vortex and ley line right in Hollywood. And that is why the elites that be came here to Hollywood. And I believe that the backstory of Hollywood is that Hollywood, which is actually just a tree and it's a wood, was used for wands and spell casting. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I believe it's something along those lines, right? Hollywood. So anyway, and so there's this huge energy vortex in Hollywood, and the elites that be actually took over the vortex here. And if they can actually manipulate and take over and corrupt the vortex that's in Hollywood, they have the, what is it called? They have the connection and attachment to all of the other vortexes in the world, so that they can brainwash the masses with the entertainment that they're putting out there into the world. That's why Hollywood is the precipice of entertainment and mass media in the world. At least it was back in the day. So once again, if they had control over this vortex here, then they have the control over the minds and the brainwashing of the rest of humanity in the world. That's the download that came to me. So the other download is, why are so many light workers in Hollywood? Why did I and so many other extremely high vibrational beings get drawn to Los Angeles, which in my mind, it's like, obviously I'm here for my wife, but she could have been in Iowa and I would have been in Iowa. Why was she here? Why was she literally right in the center of everything? And the information that came to me was all these light workers are getting drawn to this location temporarily, definitely not my resting place, to change the vibration, to transmute the vibration of the vortex, to take back the power over the control grid on this planet. We're changing it. And by me being here, guys, and like literally, like I'm in West Hollywood, like I'm in between Beverly Hills and Hollywood. That's where I am. Like I am in the center of everything. And by me being here, putting out entertainment, putting out information, putting out videos, I'm transmuting the vibration of the vortex here. And so are so many other light workers. So that information came to me hugely. Also, I have been a little bit sketched out. I definitely think that our internet's been a little bit hacked. I think that our Wi-Fi has been a little bit hacked. I think that I really do feel like I'm being watched online. There's been a lot of weird glitches that my wife has had online, a lot of weird glitches that I have had. I've picked up the phone in the past week and I've heard it's actually very indicative of someone recording the call. It's like this popping noise every like couple minutes. And I'm like, very interesting. So I'm just saying that. Also, I got the very strange message on Instagram just yesterday, and he said, look, like, I'm a psychic, I'm a channeler. I watched your Child's Lives Matter video, and I got this dreaded feeling like something really bad is going to happen to you, and you need to take down that video right away. And so I'm sitting with that information. I'm not taking action on it. But I mean, it definitely freaked me out a little bit. But of course, I also believe, like, without a doubt, that I am here for a reason. And also, I believe that, I really strongly believe in my exit points. And if I were to be kind of taken off this planet right now, I'd be extremely, like, I've lived a very full life, even at 28. I don't know. I mean, that's definitely not going to happen, guys. I've seen myself live well into 100, but yeah, some weird things going on. But I've got Sharma. She's my handy reptilian detacher. She helps me a lot. Okay, so let's hop into your questions. Sorry about the big rant. Let's go to Jilly. Jilly777. If we aren't fulfilling our soul mission and why we're here, what signs will we see? And if we are on the right path, what signs will we see? Great question. The bedhead is continuing. Okay, so if you're not fulfilling your soul mission, if you're not necessarily on the path, what you're going to get is a lot of resistance, right? So you're not going to see one sign saying, oh, that's the sign, I'm not on my right path. Everyone's going to get these messages in different ways. So the biggest thing is if you keep getting resistance, if you're like, I want to get a job as an accountant, and you keep trying to get a job as an accountant, and it keeps not working out for you, that's a pretty good sign that that you're not supposed to get a job as an accountant, and that's not necessarily on your path. So listen to the resistance in your life. All of it, all of the resistance, okay? If you are on the right path, sorry, I've got hiccups. If you are on the right path, everything's going to be really easy for you. Just easy, in flow, effortless. It's going to feel like, it's just going to feel like everything's in flow. So it's just listen to the resistance, listen to the ease. Okay, going over to Brittany P. Can reptilians or humans with reptilian attachments, still confused about the difference if there is one, and there is, I'll just quickly explain it. So there's actually something called reptilian shapeshifters who shapeshift into human beings who are full reptilians, which means in a sense they were either born reptilian and they have the technology to shapeshift, or they're reptilian, they've kind of integrated with a human body, but that human as a soul, as a sentient, free will, conscious being, has to sell their soul, which is actually a thing, to the reptilian in order for the reptilian to fully take over the body. So that's what I would consider a full reptilian shapeshifter. What reptilians can also do is they can also create entities, is what I believe it as, with this black tar, this black goo that I've seen them work with, and they can kind of put out the entities into the world to also wreak havoc and bring the vibration down. So that's the difference between reptilian and reptilian attachment. Reptilian attachment is basically either like the reptilian energy without a form attaching to you, or just an entity, a dark mass entity attaching to you, which honestly, guys, is way more common than you would think. Like, I pass people all the time in Los Angeles, and I can see entities all around them. So I honestly try and avoid eye contact with them, because it's actually through the eye contact that these entities can latch onto you. Just put my invisibility cloak on and I'm good to go typically. Okay, so can reptilians or humans with reptilian attachments come into our lives and try and bring us down and stop us from fulfilling our soul purpose and mission? Absolutely. That's probably their number one goal, especially targeting light workers, is to target us to take us down. And I'll tell you that, I've really kind of reawakened in a sense since 2010. Obviously, I was born with a lot of my spiritual gifts and abilities, but I reawakened in 2010, right before I went online. So I went online. I was off all social media until 2016, right? YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, Twitter, I was off of it. And then 2016, I got the call, go online and share your information. And so right before that, I had the relationship with the reptilian shapeshifter, the actual man, physical man, who is a reptilian shapeshifter. And I had a relationship with him back in 2014. And I know that before I went online and spoke my truth, he was trying to take me down. And man, he did a pretty good job of controlling and all of that right beforehand. Good question, though. So yeah, so they can try, but ultimately your free will is the number one thing that is going to override any sort of reptilian effect. So keep that in mind. Question here from Happy Vibes TV. How to find a romantic partner on the same soul mission and same soul purpose as oneself? I assume this would improve compatibility. Not always. So personally, if I think about my own romantic relationship with Nat, she's not on the same soul mission, not even close. I mean, yeah, in a lot of ways, her soul mission is to be an anchor for me so that I can do my mission. And I'm hoping that one day she doesn't have to work and I can kind of float the boat for both of us in a sense and take care of the little kidlets or whatever, little alien hybrids. But yeah, so you don't have to find a partner who's on the same soul mission or the same soul path. In fact, there's actually a lot of compatibility with, wow, you're so different, but so similar, and that it just kind of works. It's like a puzzle piece, right? So if I had a partner who was a channeler and a psychic, I don't think that would work, and it would just be too much all the time. Like, I love Nat for the fact that we can like joke around and like have nicknames for each other, and Abby and little Tater Tot, So having the same soul mission does not necessarily improve compatibility from my perspective, but being on the same vibrational frequency of, wow, I just came from a crazy relationship, or wow, I really just changed my life, or wow, I really want to make something more of myself, or I really want to help humanity. Having the same basic intention and being at the same frequency is absolutely going to improve compatibility. So let go of what's your soul mission, are you helping too, and just kind of embrace the vibration and energy of, where are you at? Are you also making the changes? Are you also ready to, ascend and move forward, right? Yeah, super interesting. And I'm super surprised at how many couples have signed up for my Mexico retreat. And I'm thinking that the second one is just going to be a couples retreat in 2021, which I'm very excited about because I have a lot of exercises for couples, and even like practicing telepathy between each other is really cool because you can then take that home and you always have a partner to practice with. I just think it's beautiful when I see mothers and daughters watching my channel, whole families watching my channel, or couples watching my channel together. That is you guys have to really realize that the majority of society, the majority of the people watching my channel are individuals, and they feel so alone watching this channel, thinking, I'm so glad someone's saying it, and I'm so glad there's all these people who are also thinking it, but I still feel alone in my own life. And more, I'm getting this push to bring a community together, especially of all my members. And I think it was right before I hopped on live where I was like, chatting in the live. I love chatting with you guys in the live chat right before this video. And, I think it was like Susan who's like, yeah, it's super hurricane season here in Florida. And then Bo is like, I think it was Bo who's like, hey, stay safe, Susan, we're sending you good energy. And I'm like, that's amazing. We need more of this community interaction moving forward. So I'm really hoping to kind of gear up and set up a Slack channel for all of you to have a safe space. So that's definitely still on the to-do list. I've got a lot of things going on, but that's in my mind, guys. So that's coming. And also for all of you who are watching, who are not signed up to be a member, check it out, guys. I have over, I think, 80 videos that have never been released to the public that are packed full of DNA activating information, that are just sitting in this membership channel. And every Thursday I put out a brand new video for all of you. And I love all of you who said, wow, the relationship video came at the perfect time. I was sat down and planned to talk about something different completely, but it was the relationships that came up. So definitely sign up to be a member, $9.99 a month. You get to support me and you get all this content, which is incredible. So yeah. Okay, Cassidy, brand new member. Hi, Cassidy. Hi, Elizabeth. I was curious. Multiple spiritual influencers have been mentioning that. Sorry, my feet are asleep. Okay. Multiple spiritual influencers have been mentioning that it's coming, or something along the lines of be prepared because it's going to get worse before it gets better. It's nice to know that other spiritual influencers are saying the same thing, because I've been saying this for a while. Is there anything in particular we should be preparing for what's coming? And if you can give us some intel on what exactly is to come, or if the GFL have any messages for us and what's to come. Great. So I'm going to be talking in depth about the Galactic Federation and what's really to come tomorrow, and also how to get prepared. But I mean, I've been getting this message since 2012. I don't know if you can hear the knocking behind me. But yeah, and so I've been getting this message since 2012 to get prepared. So honestly, guys, there was someone else who said, like, I don't want to get prepared and then feed into the scarcity mindset of buying up all the toilet paper. And I totally understand that as well. And you don't have to go to a store and buy up all of their supplies. This is what I do. Every time I go grocery shopping, I buy one new thing that is being stored away. So one can, right? One extra can of vegetable soup, and now it's stored away. So like, I'm a little bit of a hoarder when it comes to survival and supplies. And if you checked out my Amazon birthday wish list, it was like all gardening supplies or survival supplies. So for me, just personally, but obviously I'm doing this because I have received the message of just having enough food and water for at least a month for every single member of your family. And there's a ton of websites out there that will tell you how much food and how much water you need per person per day. So just kind of being aware of that. Also, there's really cool tips and tricks, like, 1 spoonful of coconut oil per day is going to give you all of the fatty acids that you need for your body to survive. So just kind of being aware of that type of information. And for me, it makes me feel more, like, it makes me feel like I can thrive. It's not a survival mindset. It makes me feel settled. It makes me feel like shit could go down in the world tomorrow. The electricity could go off and I still have a propane burner. I still have food for days. I still have water indefinitely. So I just want to say that it could be a solar flare, and I'm talking to the Galactic Federation tomorrow about that. It could be a blank, it could be a natural disaster, it could be an earthquake, especially in LA, and I would feel pretty prepared for whatever it is to come. So just being aware that, food, water, and then also just the financial industry, I believe, is going to collapse. So thinking about transferring over some of your financial resources into silver. That's what I have. So it's just being safe than sorry. I would rather say, you know what? I didn't break the bank. I didn't, buy up all the supplies in the stores, but I feel pretty good if things were to go down. Right? So that's it, guys. So get prepared for sure. I mean, I've been saying this for years, and now we're actually at this place where people are like, oh yeah, I should be prepared. And if anything, I think that COVID is a pretty good warning, if anything, to say, if things do get worse, are you prepared for that? Right? So just kind of being aware of that. There's no fear involved. There's actually just this relaxed energy of, I have everything I need. It's all good. Okay, let's go over to Carol Ann. Hi, Elizabeth and Lauren. My question is, why does the solar flash still need to happen if we are getting full disclosure? How does this affect our purpose and mission? Great. So once again, tomorrow I'm going to be asking the Galactic Federation about the solar flare event that they told me about back in 2018. And I'm also going to be asking them about things like hydrochloroquine and just a ton of other hot topics like AI technology, 5G, and what else we should be doing with that. So I've also been getting really massive downloads on 0 point frequency, and that's been really nice. So I believe that the solar flare doesn't need to happen if humanity as a whole learns their lesson from COVID. I'm going to ask tomorrow the Galactic Federation Security Council, have we learned our lesson? Like, how far along are we in changing the reality and changing the perception and in awakening to the highest vibration on the planet? So I'm going to ask them all about those questions, and I'm just going to actually highlight that. So thank you, Carol, for asking. Okay. All right. Going over to Edward. Is it possible a soul purpose or mission could be as simple as to hold space and bear witness? 100%. And you know what? I really should have talked about that during the soul purpose video, that your soul purpose can be really simple. Is just to be here. And actually the word that keeps coming to me with a lot of souls who always ask me, what's my soul purpose? Is, an anchor. Anchor. All of these cosmic beings who aren't necessarily speaking up, who aren't necessarily doing anything, like boots on the ground, which is fine. They are this satellite that is anchoring in a higher vibrational frequency into the planet, right? So there's, absolutely. A soul purpose can be as simple as to hold space and to bear witness and to anchor in the higher vibrational frequencies. We need to be incarnated here to change the system. Even if you're not saying or doing anything, you just being here is changing the system enough, right? So really never, ever, ever feel like you're not doing enough. You're here, you're on this channel, you're awakened, you're on your journey, you're on your mission, right? And I love it. I just saw 888 people. It's so fantastic. I'm like 888. Is that too many eights? I'm not sure. Cool. Good questions, guys. Okay, Amanda, as starseeds and light workers, how do we address the extreme trauma many of us have experienced? Anxiety, PTSD symptoms, and so on. Really good. And thank you, Edward, for the super chat. You didn't have to do that. You're already a member. Okay, so yeah, you're so right. So many, Amanda, so many starseeds, so many light workers have experienced extreme trauma lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And that just creates this absolutely chaotic chaos, within our own systems of what is right, what is wrong, where am I supposed to be? How can I help? Who am I? It just creates this fear frequency, this chaos frequency. And ultimately, the number one thing that we can all do to change that frequency is to neutralize that fear-based frequency by bringing harmony to that frequency. So I'll give you a good example of spiders. If you're really scared of spiders, and a lot of people are, and that's a whole other story for another time, but and so if you're scared of spiders and you're scared to like go gardening because you're scared of these spiders, the best thing that you can do is to confront the energy of the fear of the spider so that you're no longer scared of it. So make a choice that is different. So if you're like, I avoid the garden because I'm scared of spiders, make a different choice. Make the choice that I am going into the garden to confront my fear of spiders. Or you're like, I keep attracting the same abusive relationships. So make a different choice. I am going to confront my ex-boyfriend about what went wrong and how he treated me so that I neutralize that energy so that I don't attract that again. Right? And I was just talking about this in the members only video about relationships. We need to neutralize the energy of dynamics in our life in order to be able to move forward. Any sort of resistance or trauma or back and forth that you have is going to set you back into that disharmonic frequency. And thank you so much. What's your Finer Strong? Thank you for that super chat. It's really, really generous. I really appreciate that. So once again, address the extreme trauma, and you're not just alone with your trauma. Find other like-minded beings, find other groups, find a support system, because it's not fun to deal with the trauma alone, but also realizing that you are the only one who is able to harmonize and neutralize and complete the trauma that you have gone through. Okay. Jasmine, I feel that I'm on a path that is continuing to give me signs that I'm perceiving, yes, you are, but of course, my ego jumps in and makes me second guess, and it throws anger and hatred and hostility into me. I know that I have my battles to continue to grow and work on, but sometimes I just feel guilty. How do I know what's what am I doing, and what feels right? Because I frustrate myself. Great question. Once again, talking about this confusion that is created within ourselves. And so I'll bring this up with a personal example that I've experienced in the past couple of days, which is really interesting. Thank you so much, Melinda, for that beautiful super chat. Really appreciate it. And so in the past couple of days, I've caught myself, like I did something the other day, and I don't know what it was, but it was something in the physical. I put something somewhere, and then the glass of water spilt, and instantly my reaction was, "Oh, you're so stupid." And I literally caught myself saying that to myself. "Oh, you're so stupid." And I'm like, wow, that was mean. And then, so the first initial step in changing your mindset and changing the ego is recognizing and being aware of the thoughts that you have in your mind. Right? So the initial reaction of, "Oh, you're so stupid, why would you do that?" So you catch yourself, you're aware of that, and you're like, "Ooh, that doesn't feel right." If I think that about myself, then what am I thinking about other people? Which I think for the most part, everyone probably treats everyone else like gold and treats themselves like shit, right? It's just the human condition. So then the next step in catching your ego is reverting it by saying, "You're not stupid. You're actually really smart. And you just put this thing over here and you ended up knocking down the water glass because you were actually trying to solve a problem. In fact, you're the opposite of stupid," and that's not kind to say to myself. So not only do I recognize the thought of "Oh, you're so stupid," but then I bring it into the present moment of saying, "No, you're not. That's so silly for you to think that way, or it's not right for you to treat yourself that way." And then I turn it around and I actually feel this love and compassion towards my human and say, "Oh, I love you, and I'm sorry that I've ever treated you that way." So that right there will neutralize the energy of how you treat yourself. The biggest kicker to I think that's my next client actually trying to Skype call me. Anyway, so the biggest kicker to all of that is to neutralize that frequency and to actually just hold the vibration of love and self-love towards yourself in order to neutralize that. So yeah, the ego will always try and overcomplicate something to distract you from the truth, which is just pure love. That's all it is. Okay. So 2 more questions here. Mara Shin, 89. Can you alter or change your soul purpose and mission in this lifetime? And how does one actually know what your soul purpose or mission really is? And this is also from Raphael. Okay, so just to put it really simply, even though I put out 2 videos on this, really simply, how do you know what your soul purpose or mission is? Your soul purpose and mission is an accumulation of everything that has ever been in your reality up until this point in time. Just let that sink in. The job that you got fired from, the relationship that broke down, the all the money that you gained, all the money that you lost, the shirt that you bought last week, the homeless man that you gave money to, I don't know, whatever, right? Every single aspect, your diet, your affinities, your passions, your hobbies, every single aspect of your reality is an equation for your soul purpose. And it's all orchestrated by you before coming into this lifetime, right? So to really understand your soul purpose, you just need to look into your past. What are the biggest repetitive failures or issues? I don't believe in failures, but what are the biggest repetitive resistances that you've had in the past? And what are the biggest repetitive wins that you've had in the past? And most likely your soul mission is more based on the resistance than it is the wins. The wins are easy, right? The success is easy. There's no lessons really involved in that. You've already learned the lessons of those things in past lifetimes. Like for me, I was eating some not so great food the other day, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm so blessed to not ever have to worry about what I am eating or what I'm not eating or what I'm putting in my body. And dealing and struggling with my body and save my body weight may have been an issue in past lifetimes, but in this lifetime it's not, because I've learned that lesson. However, anytime I don't want to be seen publicly and I don't believe in myself and I'm questioning myself, I'll break out on my face, because that is a projection of don't look at me, right? So every single person has their own battles and their own issues, which is an equation related to your soul mission. And hopefully that makes sense. And you can always change or alter your soul mission in your current lifetime, because you have the free will to do that. Do you want to do that? Maybe not. Do you want to add a new soul mission once you've really completed and feel content with the last one? Absolutely, go for it. If you want more work, go for it. For me, I'm like, I want to retire at 30. I just want to write books on my own property off the grid with a lot of donkeys. I just love donkeys. Anyway, last question here, and I just want to say thank you all so much for being here. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button right now. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And if you do want more content and you have free time right now to literally binge watch, then I have over 80 binge-worthy videos just chillin', never been seen before, in the membership section of YouTube. So check that out. Even if you subscribe for a month and you binge watch all of them, you wake the F up, then you can unsubscribe. Or whatever, right? Or turn off your membership. So, okay, cool. So Wisdom Warrior. Oh yeah, also one more thing. I have a new t-shirt design coming out. I am so excited. I've been working on the past couple of weeks about this t-shirt design, and oh, it's so cool, guys. It literally, the vibration behind it. So all my merchandise is supposed to wake you up. It's supposed to alter your DNA, really. And so this t-shirt is actually supposed to magnify your vibrational frequency, your toroidal field, I believe that's what it's called. And that's what it's supposed to do. So that's coming at you, but just keep that in mind. Last question here from Wisdom Warrior. Would it be fair to say a soul upon earth has one great purpose: to find love and see and feel oneness with all things, and secondly, to deal with past karmas as a mission, so to speak? Absolutely. We are all here on this planet dealing with past life karmas. 100%, hands down. And then also to see and feel love. If you're talking about the love of the universe and the love of oneness rather than a romantic love, 100%, without a doubt, that's what we're here to do, is to experience and see and identify and become and be within that oneness. And then once again, to deal with past life karma. All of us have that. I don't think, unless you're you're Buddha, or sorry, Buddha, we still all have the karma to deal with. And that's what understanding your past lifetimes really helps with. So yeah, awesome. Great questions, guys. Thank you all to all of my members for being here. Thank you for your amazing questions. Love the live chat as always. I will be around tomorrow for an exclusive Galactic Federation channeling check-in, and then sign up for the 11th, August 11th, at 3 p.m. PST to hear from other members of the Galactic Federation. We'll ask them what their name is, what their species is, what their role is within the Galactic Federation, if they're aligned to a council. And I know that the right people will show up on this group live event on August 11th for an hour, because that information is going to be a mirror reflection of you. You're going to be introduced to beings that you've never even heard of before, but that they're going to deeply resonate with your soul. So there's a limited number of tickets available. I'm going to actually post a link below so that you can click onto that, or you can just click into my website, click the schedule button, and you'll be able to find the ticket there. The tickets are just $11. And really just because I want the change, I want the shift to affect everyone. They're super cheap. And I really want to be able to help as many people as possible with direct channelings from the GFL. So I'm very excited for that. I have no idea what's going to come through, but I always learn so much from these events and channeling the Galactic Federation. So I will see you all tomorrow for another Galactic Federation event, but it's going to be from specifically the Palladian Security Council, talking all about preparations, next steps, hydrochloroquine, COVID, all of that great stuff. So check it out live at 5:55, 2:55, as always, every Monday. Bye, everyone.